Hello fans and friends across the universe, welcome to my YouTube channel From Me to You. My name's Keir Smith and today I'd like to share with you my review for this album. This is the 1983 release by Paul McCartney called Pipes of Peace. Paul's previous album Tug of War received widespread acclaim, and rightly so, but as that album was originally conceived as a double album, there was enough material left over from those long productive sessions in Montserrat to start work on a new album. And so Paul dug out those recordings, polished them up, wrote a few new ones, and we got Pipes of Peace. And Pipes of Peace draws comparisons with its predecessor. George Martin is on production duties again, and it continues Paul's alliance in the studio with Eric Stewart and Ringo Starr. And both Tug of War and Pipes of Peace contain two songs with the same artist. On Tug of War, it was Stevie Wonder, and on Pipes of Peace, it's Michael Jackson. Pipes of Peace was released on the 31st of October 1983. Let's take a look at the album cover. And this was inspired by a painting by Paul Gauguin and Vincent van Gogh, a painting called Van Gogh's Chair. And the pipes have been added. And that's Paul on the back cover, of course. And it is a gatefold. And there's some pictures inside of people who feature on the album. Michael Jackson, Stanley Clarke, Paul Gadd, among others. Onto the music, and side one opens with the title track and the sound of a disjointed orchestra, blaring horns and the crashing of cymbals brings about the opening of Pipes of Peace, and that plaintive vocal from Paul when he sings that sincere and inspiring lyric, "I light a candle to our love, in love our problems disappear, but all in all we soon discover that one and one is all we long to hear." And Paul's in fine voice as always as he sings over that jaunty piano in the verse that leads on to the chorus, where the song morphs into this big band umpa sound. It's absolutely glorious. There's so much melodic power in this song. I love the marching drums, tabla, thigh slaps for added percussion, the strings and the kids choir that adds so much to the song. And I really like those strings right at the end of the song after Paul repeats the line, "One and one is all we long to hear." And who can forget the brilliant video where Paul recreates the World War I soldiers putting down their guns and playing that famous football match. It's all incredibly powerful stuff, very moving, and I think it's a brilliant song, a McCartney classic, Pipes of Peace. Say 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 is next, and what a pop record. The dream team of Mac and Jack combining perfectly to create an absolute classic. I really like the lyric too. Say what you want, but don't play games with my affection. But this song really is all about the music. I love the keyboard intro with the drums. It just gives it an instant groove. The little guitar licks, the harmonica breaks. And I really think that Paul and Michael's voices really blend together well and they complement each other. And the horns in this song are absolutely sensational. All of Michael's little ad-libs and the way that the guitar lick goes with the harmonica at the end of the song. It's a hook every 20 seconds. A brilliant song. Say, say, say. And another great video in the age where MTV was really taking off. Paul, Michael, Linda and company going around and hustling and swindling people out of their hard-earned pay. And did you know that Michael would later buy the area where the video was shot and turn it into his Neverland ranch? Which brings us to The Other Me, and we'll get the lyrical content out of the way first, being as Paul has come in for so much stick about it over the years. Paul sings, "I know I was a crazy fool for treating you the way I did, but something got a hold of me and I acted like a dustbin lid," which sounds lame, but dustbin lid is popular Liverpool slang for kid. Dustbin lid, kid. So in context, it makes perfect sense. And it's an okay song, a simple, easy on the ear melody, kind of plods along. It's got a bit of a country and western twang to it. Tidy guitar parts, but that scat singing that Paul does at the end of the song always irked me slightly, and after the high of the first two songs, this is a weaker effort for sure. Keep Undercover is next, and this is much better. I like the spoken word intro, that's quite eerie, and then the strings come in really sharply, a good George Martin arrangement, and then from there it's a buoyant pop song. The lyrics are a little throwaway, but some really good guitar parts throughout, great chorus, great vocal from Paul, and a really good song, Keep Undercover. So Bad closes side one, and I love this. I think it's a beautiful song. I love the gentle way it's played. Paul's lead bass parts here are superb. The harmonies, Paul, Linda and Eric Stewart combining perfectly. The drums are perfectly placed by Ringo, of course, and Paul's falsetto vocal works really well. Some say it's too lush, but I think it's a quiet gem. Flipping the vinyl over, The Man opens side 2 of the vinyl, the second collaboration between Paul and Michael here, and it was going to be the third single taken from the album, but then Paul got busted for pot in Barbados, and apparently Michael and his representatives didn't want the negative association. The Man would have made a really good single because it's a bright, breezy slice of radio-friendly pop, and I like the fuzzing guitar solo that introduces the song, and vocally it's more Michael than it is Paul, but again, the two harmonise together wonderfully well. Nice arrangement from George Martin too. I like that plucked string part that goes with the guitar solo in the middle, and plenty of hand claps in this song too, which is always nice. I really like it, The Man. The effervescent Sweetest Little Show is next, and my ears prick up immediately when I hear that little guitar lick at the start of the song that's met by those great chord changes on the acoustic guitar. That prominent bass line kicks in and it all just flows really well. And I really like the sentiment of the song and the lyric when Paul sings, "And if they treat you like a brother, then you will never, never let them down." You've got that cool guitar break in the middle where Paul plays that solo on the acoustic guitar. That's met by a round of applause. It's like a show within a show. And I really love those elongated vocals that fade the song out. Absolutely brilliant. Perfect song. It's all going very well, but then we get Average Person, a song that I've never really warmed to. And it's one of those goofy, really goofy McCartney songs. And I guess it's a little bit like maybe Famous Groupies from London Town, and that took me some time, but I really like that now. But I suppose some people would say, well, if you like Famous Groupies, why wouldn't you like Average Person? I know a lot of people do like this song, but Paul sings about a engine driver who wants to work with lions in a zoo, and a waitress who had a Hollywood audition, but the part was given to a kid or a dustbin lid, and a boxer who lacked some extra height. And it's just a little bit naff for me, and I kind of like that hushed vocal in the middle and that little guitar break just before the verse about the boxer. But overall it's a song I've never liked, and I've been listening to it for over 20 years now and I still don't like it. Hey Hey is next, and this is a co-write between bassist Stanley Clarke and Paul McCartney, and it's largely an instrumental bar the chanting of Hey Hey, and it zips around busily. It's a funky jazz inflected thing, and then it comes to this middle section where it's all very smooth and mellow and kind of like a Copacabana style thing, and then it goes back to the main Hey Hey part and zips around some more. But again, it's a track I've never really took to. I could get past Hey Hey being a wacky instrumental, but then we get Tug of Peace, and this is a really odd piece. It's like a sound collage. We're met with these tribal thumping sounds, which is actually made by Paul and George Martin smacking garden canes on the studio floor. A nice little invention between them two. But then we get this silly, it's a tug of war, no, no, your troubles cease when you learn to play the pipes of peace. It's just a little forced and unnecessary for me, but I guess it's there to serve the tug of war, pipes of peace contrasting theme. But again, I've never liked it that much, and I know for a fact that Paul had better material lying around, so why didn't he use it? But there you go. Through Our Love closes the album, and it saves the day, thankfully. A great collaboration between Paul McCartney and George Martin, and I can imagine George Martin rubbing his hands together when Paul brought this song in, knowing what he could do with it. It goes for that grandiose finale, and it gets there. It's a really big production, piano, strings, horns. It builds to quite a crescendo in the middle of the song. Some may say it's a little bit over the top, but Through Our Love is a song that's awash with love and good feeling. I really like the sentiment and the lyric again. Through our love, we can do things that they said were impossible. And I always think it gets bogged down by the material that precedes it, because I think it's a great song and certainly a good way to close the Pipes of Peace album. Pipes of Peace sold well in the UK. The album went to #1, and the song Pipes of Peace was a #1 single over Christmas 1983, but the album didn't chart as well in America. It only fared as well as #15 on the album charts there. But having said that, Say 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 was a huge hit single and charted at #1 on the Billboard Top 100 singles charts. But Despite the album's overall success, the critics haven't been too kind to this. They said that it lacked substance and that it was a lightweight tug of war. I agree to a degree, but there are still 6 songs here that I couldn't be without. But in terms of Paul McCartney's solo back catalogue, I would rank it low. Side 2 just gets bogged down by what I class as filler material. But what do you think to the Pipes of Peace album? Do you think it's any good? Where do you rank it in Paul McCartney's solo back catalogue? Please leave your comments below. Please give the video the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel. There'll be lots more to come. Thanks as always for watching. See you next time.